It's essential to check your transmission fluid if you want to avoid future major and expensive damage. Does it really matter if you check in cold or hot conditions? It's important to get it right because improper fluid levels can lead to transmission problems. Learn the best time and method for checking your transmission fluid by watching the video. Checking when hot or cold? In general, you should only check the transmission fluid while the engine is idle and completely warmed up. The transmission fluid hasn't started to circulate throughout the system completely when the car is first started and the engine is cold. All components that need lubrication are receiving fluid once it has warmed up to operating temperature and is idling. The fluid has expanded to a normal state that the dipstick can measure with accuracy. When you turn off the engine, the fluid can return to the pan and give you a partial picture of the real operating levels. Why is there a hot and cold mark on the dipstick? The transmission dipstick's cold mark essentially acts as a factory fill line, making sure there is enough fluid present from the beginning to avoid damage during the initial startup. It may or may not specify a minimum fluid level that is advised for continuous operation following the production line's termination. Instead, the transmission's intended operating level is indicated by the hot mark on the dipstick. Therefore, the hot mark is the one to look for when checking your fluid, even though the cold mark gives the factory a safety net for newly built transmissions. Follow vehicle manufacturers' guidelines. Because there are so many different car and transmission combinations available, make sure you adhere to the manufacturer's instructions to the letter. Test protocols for different makes and models may vary slightly. Some specify that the car must be started and left in park, while others require it to be in neutral or possibly in neutral after a few minutes of aggressive driving. Before taking out the dipstick, check your owner's manual to make sure the gear selection is set correctly, the engine is running, the temperature requirements are met, and any other unique conditions. Properly checking transmission fluid level. To ensure the most precise results when checking the fluid levels in your transmission, follow these steps. Warm up the vehicle. Drive your car until the transmission is warm and the engine reaches operating temperature. The dipstick will give erratic readings if the fluid is cold. The fluid will have expanded to the appropriate level for measurement if the operating temperature is met. It is a good idea to go through all of the gears once, from first to reverse. As a result, the system is filled with fluid flowing through all internal valves and passageways. By going through every gear in the transmission, you can be sure that everything has been used to its full potential. Shift to park. Put the parking brake on and move your automatic transmission into park while you're parked on a level surface and the engine is running. Throughout the procedure, keep your engine running at all times. Locate dipstick. Different car makes and models may have different locations for the transmission dipstick handle. Some may be located elsewhere under the hood, but some are close to the engine oil dipstick. Check online or refer to your owner's manual to locate the transmission dipstick that comes with your car. Remove dipstick. Just like when you check your engine oil, fully extract the transmission dipstick and use a clean rag to remove any remaining fluid. By doing this, the marked end is ready to receive an accurate fluid level reading free of debris or fluid remnants. Reinsert and remove. Pull the dipstick out and then fully insert it back into the socket. Instead of having leftover fluid from your initial removal on the dipstick, this enables you to obtain an accurate snapshot of the operating fluid level as it is at that moment. Assess fluid color and level. First, make sure the transmission fluid is clear, red, or pink and free of any strong, strange odors or dark coloring. Next, observe the location of the fluid level. The majority of transmission fluid dipsticks feature a shaded area, dots or notches to indicate the correct fluid level, as well as a hot or warm range. That's the place you ought to be. Once more, confirm that you are correctly interpreting fluid level marks by consulting your owner's manual. Adding fluid. It is necessary to add transmission fluid to your transmission if the level drops below the recommended levels. The car doesn't have a transmission dipstick. What should you do? Some more recent cars do not come with a physical dipstick that allows the owner to check the level of the transmission fluid at home. They frequently measure fluid levels using a sensor, and if there is a low fluid state, they will display a warning message. Try these in place of a transmission dipstick if your car doesn't have one. First of all, consult the owner's manual. A different method, such as a plug on the transmission itself, may be available for certain models without a dipstick to check the transmission fluid. Find a fill tube, In place of a dipstick, cars without one frequently have a marked fill tube. For this tube to read correctly, the car needs to be warmed up and running. Rely on a car technician. A mechanic or service technician must periodically inspect the fluid if there isn't a method for the owner to check it. They can confirm levels with their tools. Examine according to intervals. Nowadays, most transmissions only require adjustments every 100,000 miles.